One, two, three, four. I make a big decision. What's gonna listen to what you say? I've gone my own way. I've always been a reckless dreamer. I never knew where I was going to. And now I know you. I'll do things I could never do before. Everywhere I go, you open up the door. You're like a brother shouldering out of me. Everywhere I go, I want them all to see. It's the you. Like a girl's changing action. There's some people think I'm crazy, and that's okay. Thinking I'll be shot against you. You know that I will do the same. I just know your name. Lord, you're in everything I say and do. And everything I do, I do it all into you. You're like a brighter shining out of me. Everywhere I go, I want them all to see. It's through you. It's through you. It's through you.
Hello, and thank you for choosing Rooster Show. This is Rooster Jones. I thank you for being here on the Rooster Show, your place for underground music. Today we have The Lead, a band that came out in the 1980s, believe it or not, and they've been around forever. They got some amazing music. I fell in love with one of them, and it was Hardcore for Jesus. And it was one of my favorite albums back then, and I honestly it still is. It's still a great album. And now we're just waiting, my friends. We have Nina and Julio gonna be here, and they are logging in, so they are present. This is actually one of our first Christian punk bands that we've had, or Christian bands that we've had on this show. And so it's a great honor to have someone that I actually grew up listening to on here. So this is amazing. Good stuff. It'll be on. It's coming. It's a process. It's a process, my friends. Did hear somebody? Aha. Julio, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, sorry, I've been on for a while. I forgot that I had to turn on the camera. I'm used to doing this for work. How
Oh
are you, man?
no. Hey, doing wonderful. Looks like Nina. Oh, there she is. The woman of the hour. How you doing?
Hey, how are you?
Oh, welcome, welcome. Oh, you are. I love your shirt. Oh my
Oh,
Lord,
well,
that's
if
awesome.
if anybody wants a hoodie from the lead,
Hardcore for Jesus, right here.
it's out now. It is
Yeah,
out now.
yeah.
It's
That's
happening.
honestly that is the album that got me to fall in love with you.
Oh,
I,
wow.
I that and
Hmm.
head noise and all that good stuff, and
Hmm.
I just and the crucified, of course. How could you not love?
Yeah. Oh,
But
yeah,
that
they're
was
the
such a
best.
great era of music that came out all 80s and 90s. Were amazing. Still listening to right now. I got Altar Boys on right now. You will be
Oh.
loved. You are
Hi,
loved. I mean,
Julio.
hello.
Hey,
So
long time no talk.
yeah, well, welcome to have you guys after what 10 years separation? I heard or something like that.
10 year, more
Wow.
like 23 is 23 years. But
Oh goodness.
No,
huh?
we did
Yeah, we
something
did. I
a
was
few
about to
years
say that.
ago.
Yes, we did reunite. We just put out something earlier this year, and we did put out an EP 7 years ago. Before that,
Wow, it was
our
7 years.
We're working a lot slower than we used to. We're busy
But
people now.
you got
That
a
happens.
great amount of stuff on Bandcamp. I love it.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man. Anyways, let's go because I had all my CDs stolen, me and my wife, and so that was one of the your guys'
No.
is gone. So that's the
Oh,
only
we'll
place I can listen to hardcore for Jesus is on Bandcamp. So thank the Lord for
replace it.
that.
We'll have to replace it for you. Right, Julio?
That's right.
Yeah,
Like
we'll
the best.
replace it.
Okay, let's talk about this real quick. Let's talk about the band. You guys were formed in the 80s. When was it that you were formed in? What sparked this creation?
Wow. I guess we formed in 85, am I right, Julio?
No, we formed in '84.
Oh, sorry. We
The
formed in 84. Yeah, I think you're
battle
84.
right.
begins. The battle begins of
Yeah.
wisdom and
Yeah.
memory.
The synopsis is Julio and I were in art school together.
Okay.
And wow, this is so long ago. So I came to know the Lord when I met Julio. Actually, we started working together, and he approached me and said, "Hey, I kind of want to do this music." And then he gave me some of the music, and I was like, I couldn't believe like that was the music that he wanted to do. And
Yeah.
I was listening a lot to Undercover at that
Oh, okay.
time.
Yes. Undercover. Got it.
Julio gave me Undercover. Who else
Okay.
did you Who else did you give me,
Um.
Julio?
Well, you mentioned the Altar Boys. They were
And the
another.
Altar Boys.
And let me see. Now,
Lifesavers Underground was a good one back then too. Lifesavers,
which?
Michael Knott.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I
The
remember
Dead
I don't
Artist Syndrome.
have my hands on any of their records, but yeah,
All
because
of them were great.
See,
yeah,
I
Yeah.
know this stuff. I know.
You do.
I
You know
grew
you
up loving. Honestly, grew up really love. I love the Lord too. I got baptized in one of my churches out in California in Marina Valley
wow.
Baptist. Me and my dad together, and
Oh, cool.
yeah, it was. I love the Lord. Me and my wife and my
Oh
son, we
yeah.
all love the Lord, and I've been married for 25 years. Feel so bad for my wife.
Wow.
Poor girl, many moons, but she's been a
That's
great wife and a great son.
that's
And
great.
so tell me,
Yes, so we just, Julio had already done, didn't you? You had already done something.
yeah. I had a little pop punk garage combo named the Visitors that
okay,
we put out a record. That's also on Bandcamp. We put out a little 45, and Nina, you may not remember, but I actually tried to recruit you into the Visitors at the very end of our existence. I don't know if you remember that. You came to like
I
one
I
rehearsal,
do.
you
No, I
know.
remember.
Yeah, it wasn't fun. It didn't quite work out, but I think that was really where things started in terms of getting the lead together, a few
now
months
is
after.
the lead still together, right? Are you guys still together? It's just like you said, it may take a little more extra time to get stuff put
Well,
out, but
we're really taking advantage of today's technology because our drummer's in Tampa.
Yeah, let's talk about Robbie. We don't want to
Yeah,
leave Robbie out
don't
because he
leave
was the
Robbie
yeah.
behind.
How you doing, Robbie?
Yeah,
main part of the lead.
yeah. No, he's not. He's in Tampa. I don't think he logged on. But yeah. I mean, the lead started with Nina and I, and basically, there was this music weekly publication, local music weekly publication called, I believe, the Rag, and
Okay.
Oh
we put in
wow.
ad
Yeah.
there, and that's where Robbie answered the ad. It was cool. He was much more into metal than Nina and myself, but I think it gave us a good mix. He was
Gotcha.
a very powerful drummer. And still is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing drummer.
The changes,
So
the
so we
transitions that he does is amazing. Yes.
yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
We never could find a bass player. So
Okay.
one day Julio says to me, "Well, why don't you just learn to play the bass?" And I
Yeah.
I mean,
went,
it worked for the Beatles,
I
and
went, okay.
It's
it worked
really simple instrument, actually.
it worked
Bass
for
is
the
basic.
Beatles,
It
the
is.
Clash.
It is. We went to buy a bass, and I ended up
Yeah,
learning to play the bass. So that's actually how that happened.
it was
Oh,
like
I
the
okay.
cheapest,
I
it was like the
owe
cheapest
it
bass
to
I could find.
Julio.
Good job, Julio. Good
Yes,
job.
yes,
So
very
that
good.
was so Hardcore for Jesus is that the actual that was the actual name, or did it start? Was this your first release? What was your first release? How about that? Let's
Well,
start with that.
well,
Where did it all begin?
what you're referring to as Hardcore for Jesus is really like this box set of everything that we put out that
Okay,
came out
yeah.
in six. You
Okay.
know, so those, that was like an amalgam of all our releases,
Yeah,
starting
those
with.
are the songs I'm all familiar with. I mean, I can sing along to a lot of them. I mean, well, it's kind of
Well,
fast
you're
singing,
familiar
but
with the whole
I'll
discography.
get out of breath now, but
Yeah.
good for
So
you,
yeah, our
Nina.
first EP
Go
was
ahead.
85. It was a four
Okay.
song EP just with just our name. You know,
Yeah.
uh, some really good songs in there from Nina. I thought they were really cool. We we were more we were more poppy in the beginning, in the very beginning.
Okay.
And when Nina got the bass, she started to, in the process of getting comfortable with it, she wrote her first songs, I think, on it. Tell me if I'm wrong, Nina. Uh, and the songs you wrote were great. They were like these really good little hardcore ditties
They
that
were
that
little
so
hardcore pop punk ditties.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
The two
very,
songs,
very
it's the
minor threat type of vibe, in the early stuff to me. That's what I feel. So that's why I
yeah,
fell in love with it. I love minor threat. So go ahead, bud.
yeah. Yeah, so yeah, and it was just amazing, those two little songs that are on the first EP from Nina, like them to this day, the It's Through You and Get Out of My Face, you
Yeah,
know.
get out of my face. I was just gonna ask about get. That's so funny. You said get out of my face. I was gonna ask you about that. Can you tell me about the lyrics on that? Well, how did you come about that? And it's
Well,
so funny because I was exact
let the
in
author
my
tell
head.
you.
God works in mysterious ways. That's all I have to say.
Well, it was just to the point where I came to know the Lord.
Okay.
I was so excited. I just wanted to tell everybody. And
Yeah.
at some point, some people are looking at you going, okay, I get it. Like, stop, like, get out of my face. So that's where it
That's
comes from. Yeah,
I get it.
that's where it
Okay.
comes from. Yeah.
I can understand that. So do you feel the dynamics have changed from the early lead to what you work on now?
I think they have, in a way, and maybe there's a little bit more of a full circle thing. As we progressed through the '80s and all, I find myself kind of leading everybody else into like a heavier and heavier sound.
Yes.
And that culminated with after we stopped playing together. I started another band called Frank's Enemy, I think that was where I kind of gave vent to all my impulse to go crazy.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
Well, I mean, I guess we do need a place to vent, sometimes,
yeah,
just
we
gotta
do.
have that release.
I,
I
I
mean,
vent to this, I vent to this day, but in a way, it's almost coming full circle because I'm not so interested in. I mean, I kind of see more what the lead is all about, believe it or not, now than I did before,
Hmm.
and so I I I feel like I sort of want to be more of a servant at this point, and just try to help
yeah.
everybody get their
Hmm.
things, get the vision out, and most of all, just serve God. I just see that
So
the lead
it's matured is what you're getting at.
it's
I
matured, and
mean, I mean, it's kind of like when you're younger, you're in high school, and you go to youth group. I mean, yeah, we love the Lord, but we play, we talk, we goof off, and then
Yeah.
we're throwing a prayer in between, But it's kind of like you believe it, you love it, but you weren't as serious as you're taking it right now. Now it's like time for the mission field, right?
In a way, yeah. In
Okay.
a way,
Gotcha.
we if we were really, I mean, we probably should be more prolific now than we are being, but we I guess we want to make each release really count, so we spend a
Gotcha.
lot of time on each thing. And with the ability to record things at home and not having to book studio time and not having to
Right.
practice, which I do miss doing, we can put a lot more care into what we do.
Gotcha. So, what is been what are your Nina? What has been one of your highlights of the lead?
Oh, highlight.
Like a most memorable occasion, or
You know, I there's a lot of them, but I always think sometimes about this first. And Julio, you're gonna have to help me when who did we open up for at Cameo Theater? And it was like 1,000 people. It was one of our first shows.
Suicidal
wow,
tendency,
Suicidal Tendencies.
no
December
way.
So
5.
you can imagine it's our first show, and I look down and I'm seeing everybody in the mosh pit, sort of afraid I'm going to fall into the mosh pit, and I really don't want to fall in the mosh pit. And I mean, I have this memory of this going, okay, I want to share something with all of you. And
Yeah.
people got quiet, but this one guy kept talking. And then this other guy yelled at him and said, she's saying something, so shut up. And I always have this memory because for me, the lead was just all about sharing the gospel.
Yes,
The music for me was second. That's
gotcha.
just the thing was just this is a way.
It was almost
And
like a tool
it
to
was a
reach
tool.
to those. It was a tool,
That
yes,
that was me. I'm not gonna say I didn't love creating the music,
of course.
but
It's still a part of you. I
yes,
mean,
of
those
course.
those
Well,
people are a part of your soul. I
yes,
mean, the
yes,
people who were trying to reach out to them.
right. Well,
Yeah,
I
we
and
relate with them a little better.
for anybody who doesn't know
Yeah,
the Lord, that's my
of
heart.
course.
Um, but I always remember that because it was such early on, and I realized, whoa, we have a huge platform to share
Mm.
the gospel. It like
Yes, you
it
do.
hit me. It hit me at that time. So I'm just sharing that memory
That's awesome. That's
because
wonderful.
it was life changing.
That's awesome. Good for you. Good for you. Because I
Yeah.
mean, really, he is the reason, not only for the season, but he's the
Yeah.
reason for everything. He is the great I am. So
Yes.
I mean, he has to be every breath that you
Amen.
know, and so that's a good
Amen.
way of having an avenue of be able to reach all these people. A brilliant way of doing it, actually, and where people understand and relate. And
Yes.
gotcha. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, is there stuff in the works right now?
Oh, I have a bunch of stuff in I've had stuff in the works for the last 30 years, I guess. I've put out a bunch of solo. So I'm working on
I
a solo thing right
I
now.
like that one
Um,
that you sent me.
oh, that's from
Mirror
a new
Clay, or
play. That's from
yeah.
a new EP that I'm working on
Ooh,
right now that Ryan Roebuck from Motivic is producing.
good stuff.
We're at the end song, and I've been leading worship for close to 30 years now.
Holy pickles.
Yeah. I
That's
was
good.
leading worship even when I was in the lead, but not to the full extent.
Oh, that's great though.
So
It's so
that's
fun.
the other music that I put out
That's
is
awesome.
worship music. Yeah.
That's brilliant. I loved. Oh, yeah, I love it. I was at a Full Assembly of God that I used to help do the worship and was
Oh,
supposed to
wow.
be playing guitar for him a little bit.
Wow.
I got an injury on my finger, so I'm hoping that I'm
Ooh.
not. Yeah, I hit it with a hammer and deboned the tip of my finger. My little
Oh.
tip of my finger was dangling off of my
Oh,
index finger.
my.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
the one we do the bar chords and all that good stuff with. So yeah, not fun. But finally got 3 years later, got surgery on it. So but I've been working on my guitar because I love to
Well,
play
there
it.
you go.
I
Good.
love to write.
If God gave you that gift, you got to use it for him,
That's right.
right?
That's right. You use it,
Yeah.
don't use it, you don't use it, you lose it.
Yep. Yep. You don't want that to
Joking.
happen.
No, I don't. I love to play. So, what do you real quick? Let's talk about that one, the Mirror Clay, right? Was it the
Well,
name
I
of
don't
it?
know. It's
Is it?
Leo, are you okay with me talking
About your
about my project I'm working
yeah,
on now? Okay.
yeah, of
I
course.
didn't want to take away
Do
from
you
the
consider
lead
it like
stuff.
No,
a
well,
dark wave? Is that like
our
a
very
dark wave type
you're
sound?
absolutely. You
Go
can talk
gothic?
about one.
Myri Clay, I just have this plethora of songs. Actually, Julio and I were talking about a little bit of that before this to do with just the different songs.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting that the thing I'm working on now has a lot of different types of songs. Few that sound like Myri Clay, a few that don't. So I write a lot of stuff on the piano now, so that vibe is a little different than
Okay. Of
playing bass or even playing acoustic guitar.
course, definitely.
Yeah,
Love
I
playing
felt
piano.
like the Lord was showing me a little bit of, I have this testimony and I want to share it if that's
Go ahead.
okay, of
Of
how
course.
I came to know the Lord. Because I came to know the Lord pretty much almost right before the lead was formed.
Ah,
Okay. So
gotcha.
I'm at college and I'm in the bathroom. I live on campus and I'm snorting cocaine. Okay. This
Gotcha.
is my life before Jesus.
Oh, don't worry. I know about
Like
that.
all that. It falls on the floor. I'm literally on the floor with a straw in my nose with dust and cocaine. And I hear, and I can hear it now, I hear the Lord say to me, get up. I don't have this for you. I have you following me.
Yeah,
Heard it just like that.
I
So
believe you. I
I
do.
stand up and I'm like, gosh, what am I doing? I flushed the whole thing down the toilet. And for weeks up to that time, I had at the school I was at, they had a jazz band, very well known actually, and a bunch of the guys in that jazz band had come to know the Lord. And I was in a secular band at the school, rock band, and we would practice in the same building. And every time I would go out of the practice room to get a drink, they would come out and witness to me. And I'd be like, yeah, I know. I've heard it before. Because I'd had heard it before. My brother had come to know the Lord
Yeah.
years before. So to make this long story short, the whole thing of never forgetting where I come from, never forgetting how depression and drugs and drinking, that was me before coming to know the Lord and feeling so just like lonely or whatever. That day, this is all the glory to God. All the glory goes to God. I stopped drinking. I stopped doing drugs. I stopped smoking cigarettes. Like that. That was not me. That was a miracle from the Lord. Do I still struggle with some other stuff? Yeah. But those things, gone,
Yep.
gone. And so I meet Julio, and I'll make this short. But it always makes me want to cry because to see what God did and has done all these years. I meet Julio, and he invited me to his church. Julio, do you remember this?
Yes, I do.
He invited me to his church to meet the worship team.
Yep.
And they included me, and they gave me some songs to sing. I had never sang in church. I didn't know anything about anything. I learned those songs. I sang with them. A few weeks later, I go home, and I'm still living on campus at the school, and I turn on the TV. And on the TV is a documentary about the punk rock scene in London and how there's people that are getting so hurt and even killed in the mosh pit. So I'm just sitting, I'm watching this, and at that time I'm thinking, oh, I guess I'm going to sing in church and maybe be like Amy Grant, because that's all I knew. I didn't know anything else.
Yeah. Crystal
watched that.
Lewis and all that good stuff.
Well, I don't even know if there was Crystal Lewis way back
Yeah,
then.
probably not back then.
Honestly.
Maybe
Well, you had the voice for it. Still do.
not. Twyla
Well,
Paris. There was Twyla Paris.
Probably, I'm not sure. I don't think I would have been. I didn't know. Anyway, I was like, Lord,
How about this? We'll even go way far back. Keith Green.
I didn't know anything. But now, I look back, I was just like, I want to do whatever you want me to do.
Yep.
And I'm looking at that documentary, and the Lord says to me, I have you in that. And I'm like, what?
Off to the pit.
You have me in that? And then it was, I don't even know if you know all this, Julio. So then Julio ends up asking me to be a part of this thing that was starting, and it was that. So
Winkadinkle? No.
My crazy story of
That's
all of
awesome.
that.
That's wonderful.
But I'm still so thankful. Yeah. And the Lord can change anyone that's listening to this right now. The Lord can change everything in your life. Everything. And if you don't know him, it's not a religion. It's this awesome relationship with the Lord who knows you. He knew you before you were born. He has just great things for you. It's not a religion. It's a relationship with this God who loves you.
Like our old boy Keith Green said, going to church doesn't make you a Christian any more than going to McDonald's makes you a hamburger.
I love that.
Yeah, right.
But it's not a religion.
It's not a religion.
Not a religion.
It's a
relationship with a God who loves you.
That's right.
Doesn't not mad at you, doesn't hate you, loves everything, loves you. Yeah.
So you being the Christian band, this is sticking with the, do you have, is it pretty easy getting shows with other artists? Like, do you work with secular artists as well still?
Well, we used to.
You said you started
I'll let Julio talk now. I feel like I just took over the.
You did wonderful, Nina. Thank you.
You leave it to say that we haven't played a show together since late 1990.
Okay. Now,
so I don't know how it would be out there if we ever were able to actually get together and perform live. So, what your question again was? Working with we worked with secular and Christian artists and audiences back when we were working in live in the 80s. And
you did get that respect still with even the secular? You had that respect?
Sometimes we didn't. Sometimes we did, sometimes we didn't.
Okay.
We opened for let me see, what group did we open for? It might have been Marginal Men in 1988, where I think we sang a song where our lyrics became clear and everybody kind of filed out of the place, which was kind of interesting to see, Yeah. But they were into it when everything was loud. So I don't know what to tell you. But sometimes we run over well anyway, It really, we played CBGB back in 1980.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, we played Hey, we were at the bottom of the bill. Token Entry was at the top, but we were well received over there. People liked us.
Good.
We got one letter, complimenting us. So,
And we wrote our name in the wall.
yeah, of course, yeah. Well, we do that. Right.
So internet's really helped this band out then, just to at least keep the blood flowing then, huh?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
I get you.
especially with Rob the drummer being in Tampa now. But yes, I mean, a lot of things had to happen for us to get back together. I think I went a little bit off the rails toward the end of our original run, a little bit. Not in terms of my belief and all that, but Lord was working on me. He's working on me still.
He's
Yeah,
working
of
on
course.
all of us.
He's working on
Yeah.
all of us. Of course he is.
Yeah.
I'm really grateful to him that he's given me the opportunity to work with Nina and Rob again, because I find their talents to be really off the charts. I think
Yeah.
I'm probably the biggest amateur in the band.
That
Yeah,
is
they
so not true. That
You're
is
very
so
talented.
not true. Oh my gosh.
Great,
You're a
great voice.
Julio is a genius.
Yeah, of course he
Okay.
is. We know.
And he's
He's
also
just being humble.
he's also a genius artist.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes,
Art.
yeah, that logo behind you, I kind of came up with it. So yeah.
Kind of.
oh,
Kind
you,
of.
Yeah,
oh,
I
you did.
drew it by hand. I also drew the skull and sword of Kill Satan. I drew that. That I drew.
And the Automoloch.
The Automola cover is my drawing. Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love graphic designing. It's one of my favorite things. I mean, besides
Yep.
creating music, it's
Well, that's how
graphic
neat.
design, definitely.
Both studying art, so there we go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Art. I love it. Love it, love it, love it, man. Julio, what do you love? Do you love creating music or playing live?
I love them both, but I think I really get more fulfillment, I think, out of assembling songs in the studio,
Got
uh,
it.
or at home. I mean, the studio maybe being my house,
Yeah.
full setup back there,
Oh yeah, yeah.
But
I noticed that earlier. It was brilliant. I loved it.
yeah. So yeah, I think in terms of just enjoyment, I do enjoy I do enjoy recording quite a bit.
That's good. That's good. Okay, so is there a track that is a signature track of the lead that this sums you guys up like in a
Skate or
nutshell?
Die.
Which one?
I guess Skate or Die is the most popular
Okay.
from Burn This Record, but I feel like we have a bunch of them. Depending on what stage of our career, we're
It's
talking.
true.
I mean, for the early days, I guess it's through you, and then
Awesome.
when we started getting thrashy, Tunnel Vision, which appeared on the East Coast Metal compilation.
Gotcha. Wow.
Maybe
See,
Kill Satan, since I that had a very popular sticker,
yeah. So are you guys on your own label, record labeling?
Yeah, we're
Are
putting
you
it
a
up.
do it yourself type label?
We were pretty much when we did our EP back in 2017. We did get into like a partnership with Nina. Well, I don't know why I forget this guy's name. He's around the
Bill.
You're
train.
talking about
Bill
the
Rocks.
Again album, right? The
Huh?
Again. You talking about the Again album?
Rocks
Yes.
Records.
Yeah. Bill Rocks Productions. Yes. Bill. Yeah, we had like a little deal with him, and we
Yeah.
made a deal with Resurrected Vinyl also, with a very low run of vinyl for that Again thing. And we haven't made a deal for what we're working on now. We just put it out ourselves on Bandcamp, and we're hoping to be able to get to
Gotcha.
we can do something physical.
Clay, the project that I'm doing, Myri Clay, is with Rocks Records.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, okay.
It is on Bill Rocks's label with Rocks Records. So Yeah,
Also, where are they labeled?
they're awesome.
Where's that label come out of?
They're in
Uh,
California.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's in LA.
California.
Yeah, they're
Oh, okay.
awesome. Awesome label.
All right. Anything you guys would like to say to your fans?
If you're still
I
with us,
just-
we'd love.
want to say Jesus loves you so much. That's all I want to say.
And we
And
do.
there's hope. Yeah,
True.
that's all I want to say.
That's good. And okay. Well, I appreciate you guys very much.
Thank you.
You
Thank
both
you
have
for
been
asking us to
amazing.
be on here.
It's so sad that your drummer wasn't here, but much love to him as well. Rob, right? Rob?
Rob.
That's
Rob.
right. Okay.
Great
You were
Rob.
not forgotten, Rob.
Yes.
All right. And you're welcome anytime. And you guys actually put out a new EP or whatever, hit me up. We'll
Yes.
do we'll do a promo on it. You guys can
Sounds-
describe it. I'll go through it, talk about all the tracks, and
we'll
whatever.
make Robbie. We'll make Robbie come
We'll
on.
make Robbie. Yeah.
that's right.
There you go.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
right. Or
All
he'll
right.
be grounded. One of the
That's
two.
right. One or the other. Okay.
God bless
All
you
right.
both.
Bless
and I
you.
appreciate the lead. And thank you so much for what you do. And I will talk to you soon. More
Thank
rock. Less cock here on the Rooster Show. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.